Record. Hello,
Hi,
Internet.
welcome back to Hi, welcome back to our channel, Investigating Film for Dummies. I'm Genevieve in Carlsbad, and
I'm Gary in Chiang Mai, Thailand, who spends my
so I'm
days
coming off.
watching
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, you get to watch movies all day. I get to work all day, teaching. Yay,
So,
and taking care of my three kids. So we watched Respect this time around, and yeah, if you could tell by my mood, wasn't particularly a fan. Didn't add anything to my life. Um, Jennifer Hudson was phenomenal, and that was it. I thought that the writing wasn't great. I thought they phoned it in. I thought it was just, another sort of movie about a famous singer that wasn't that interesting to me. I think they could have done a lot more with it, and I think that they dropped the ball on this movie.
hmm, I thought that was a fairly good review because I felt not quite so negative toward it, but it took me a bit to get into the movie, to be honest. And I talked to my daughter last night. She said she lasted 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Then I told her some of the more seedy parts of Aretha's life, and then that got her kind of interested to go back and watch it, right? The early pregnancies and all these things that she went through, right? So
They
I thought,
glossed over it.
excuse me,
They glossed over it all.
that's true, but it is hard to watch, and maybe they did that for a reason. You did not mention Forrest Whitaker, who the father I thought was fantastic.
No,
You
he did a
know,
fantastic
just
job.
the actors in all were very, very good. I thought there wasn't enough musical numbers in it. That was
I
I
agree.
I, I wanted more music.
Hmm.
She's such a great musical star herself, Jennifer Hudson, that they get started on a musical number and then they just drop it and go back to the seedy, horrible life. I don't know if it was horrible, but her domestic life, her personal life wasn't the greatest, right? With the drugs and
Right.
alcoholism and the parade of men coming through her life, and right, and all the kids she took care of, and the people she took care of. I mean, it was a fairly rough life for her, but Aretha Franklin herself was an amazing artist, and I get maybe she, like you said, maybe she deserved more. You know,
Hmm.
like I said, Rolling Stone has picked her the number one singer of all time, Aretha Franklin, and she
You
was
wouldn't
considered.
see that in this film.
And you're right. Jennifer Hudson cannot. Well, you can't see it at the very end if you watch the very end where they actually had the real Aretha Franklin when she was very old on stage at some event. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a church event. I don't know what it was, but doing a song, melody of songs, and she was amazing. Even in old and broken down, and probably got diabetes and God knows what else, she had in her old age, still could just sing like you could not believe. I mean,
Mhm.
definitely something that's, you know, God given. And there was a lot of interesting things for me that I didn't know nothing. I grew up with Aretha Franklin on the radio, right? Because she was just always around on the radio when I was a kid. And so I didn't know much about her. I really never had that much interest in her other than just as a singer. But then watching the movie, I learned a lot about her life, which I thought was interesting. So that's what I got out of it. More of a historical, just filling in all the the little gaps in my knowledge about her that I never knew, and actually made me more interested in learning more about her. You know, and the other odd thing was that they picked Rolling Stone picked her as the ninth greatest artist of all time,
Mhm.
which means that she'd be up there with Beethoven and Mozart. So I'm not sure exactly who else is on that list. I have to go look at that, but I just noticed that was number ninth artist in all of all time. So uh, I don't know what that means, but it's still a highly high praise, right?
Mhm.
So, like you said, though, it wasn't enough to the movie itself. Did not. I was going to try to say it did not have the pizzazz of like Rocket Man, which was
No.
very, or even Elvis. You know, kept your attention with all the pizzazz and And it was like it was closer to Bohemian Rhapsody, kind of an old fashioned. But even Bohemian Rhapsody, I thought was a better movie. I don't know what
Yeah,
you thought about that movie. Uh,
no, better than this.
was but an old fashioned kind of biopic they call, from old Hollywood. It's kind of very traditional the way it's laid out. Nothing nothing snappy about it, right? So I'm
Boring.
sorry. Sorry, Mr. Director, but you need a little bit more snap to the story, right? And that's why I
Right.
guess it ended up on Prime for free so quickly.
Hmm.
Right, right. It's been sitting on Prime for quite a long time, I guess. Anyway, Jennifer Hudson, one of my favorite musical stars right now. I wish she had a better, made more movies, or they had better movies for her to be in. Let's put it that way.
Hmm. Yeah.
Or they could actually remake and do another Aretha Franklin movie. But there's a lot of money put into this film. You could tell.
Hmm.
And I enjoyed the Wayland brother as the doing a dramatic role. I thought he did well. I mean, when I first saw him, I know this guy. Was that Wayland brother from In Living Color? That's amazing. They're still around doing stuff, right? And but other than that, that's about all I have to say for it. It was just but just a traditional, you know, picture that could have been turned into a really good musical.
Right. It could have been. It was meh,
It was
very
meh.
lukewarm. Meh.
So
MEH.
so she gives it a my sister gives it a meh, and I give it like maybe a half thumbs up just because I liked Jennifer Hudson and some of the other performances.
Hmm.
But as far as storyline goes, as you say, they really dropped the ball. They could have had more music and just
Right.
more fun with it, I guess you'd
Oh,
say.
it could have been,
I mean,
yeah, it could have been
it was a little bit of a
so much
downer.
more fun.
Yeah, but it was a downer story anyway. I mean, it was
Right.
ladies got the blues type thing, right? But anyway, I think
Balance it out.
yeah, need to balance it out. So that's our review uh for Respect. And
Respect.
so good night, everyone, and good night, internet, and good night all over the world. Thank you.